Listen close, we rise up from the ashes, digging for the truth, break. We marching with the nesters, they laid the foundation, passed down revelation, sparked our motivation. In a world of facades, we peeling back the layers. Truth is the weapon that cuts through all the fakers. Phonets in our chest, reborn from deception. Eyes wide open, no room for misdirection. Every step we take, we honor the connection between past and present, forging our resurrection. Phoenix rises in truth, setting us free from the lies that they feed. We reclaim our beliefs, thinking differently, we'll break every chain. We dance for freedom, case by case, again. We cultivate vision, planting seeds of awareness, challenge the narrative, break out of the harness, digging deep for knowledge, unearthing the hidden. Our minds are the soil where the future is written, no longer confined by the scripts they prescribe. We write our own story, let the real one subscribe. One voice becomes many, together we rally. Freedom's not a concept, it's a move and a tally. Case, we break the cage. Dark by dark, we shift the stage. Phoenix rises in truth, setting us free from the lies that they feed. We reclaim our beliefs, thinking differently, we'll break every chain. We dance for freedom, case by case, again. Rise up, speak out, watch the new world breathe.
Has been essentially convicted in the media. He has a right to have this information withheld, brought out in public, so that people can see it's not this neat little package. So people can start to wonder if Brian's innocent. Your Honor, Brian is innocent. So if I talk about things that are in the affidavit, and if I talk about things that we're seeking that the state wants to hide, I think that's fair game for the public to hear.
Welcome, everyone. Come on in. Today is Sunday. Amazingly, I cannot believe it's the 16th of November, and we are just 10 days away from Thanksgiving. And I don't even want to say the other part because you know the holiday in December is coming fast too. And I will tell you, I had the most amazing break, refreshed. I'm just so happy to be here today. So get this, Friday night, was peaceful. I went to bed so early. I woke up, I think I went to bed at 8 o'clock on Sunday night, and I woke up Saturday morning at about 9 a.m. And I sure needed that rest. And I'll tell you, I have just been doing nothing but enjoying my time off. And here we are tonight. I'm so excited to be here. So welcome to Phoenix Talks. I'm Phoenix. This is where we rise above assumptions, stay curious, and think with open minds. Every question matters. Every angle is welcome. Your thought process is welcome, and nothing is off limits. If this is you and you can be respectful, welcome home. So I always say this is where curiosity sparks the fire, because I'm bringing you a lot of good facts and evidence. So again, Sunday afternoon, here we are, evening, whatever it is where you are. And if you are overseas, welcome in. I always have a host of people from overseas. I wonder who is in the chat that is the furthest away out of the United States, furthest away from outside the United States. I think we had somebody in New Zealand the other day. Absolutely amazing. So I'm going to welcome you all in. Again, we are open-minded thinkers here with facts and evidence. If this is not the stream for you, this is where you can scoop back out the back door. So Caleb, welcome in. Pokey Dots, good to see you. Patty, good to see you. Okie dokie Lisa in the house. Ooh, Lola. Who is Lola Garcia? Welcome in. Hey, I see Les. Thank you so much for being here, Les. I appreciate you. Caleb says, good evening, Phoenix, Amanda, Les, and the Nesters. Yeah, if this is where you feel welcome at home, you are in the nest. Hey, good to see you, Molly. Good to see you, Donna Rosa, Rebecca. I should have put my glasses on first, and because I sit away from the screen. So welcome in. Hi, dearest Phoenix and Nesters. Nona, welcome in. All right. 110% Idahoan. I like that name. Hello from the great state of Idaho. Hello, Cat's Girl in the house. We see all these amazing OGs. So let me ask you guys a question before we get started. The Netherlands. Here we go. Donna Rose is in the Netherlands. I thought so. Scotland in the house. Welcome in. Heart of Gold in Montana, I take it. From the UK. Good to see you in the UK. Yes, absolutely. Miriam, thank you so much. I love you guys too. I really do love spending time with you guys. I didn't realize how much I'd miss it just taking a few days off to down and slow down and enjoy life a little, because life is too short, man. Precious. Got to just hang out with the family. We should have a drink every time you say you need your glasses. You guys would be super drunk. Super drunk. It's crazy. I don't know. I hit like 24 and all of a sudden I needed night driving glasses. Then you hit another number. Then you need computer glasses. And then, I need reading glasses. And I need glasses to drive. I mean, sunglasses, prescription sunglasses. It seems like you need them all. Everyone needs a mental health day. Every single one of us does. And sometimes it's nice to just log off and spend the time and do whatever it is you need to do. I actually baked some honey, stone ground wheat sourdough. It was absolutely amazing. The other day I made a regular whole wheat. It was so good. Yeah, life is so short. Life is, and so is pain. You guys are funny. Y'all are funny. Welcome, Miss Anonymous, in the house. Welcome, Ken Jr. You always give some great feedback, cryptic conversations. Welcome in. So let me ask you this. Sunday, I always give you a good question. This is a really good time to ask you this. So what's your Sunday vibe? Do you like to just relax at home, get outside in the yard, catching up on projects? Maybe getting some comfort food on Sundays. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I love a Sunday family dinner. And, when I was in the military, when I had my own family, it was a little difficult in the military because you're single and you really don't have a lot of family around, especially if you're on an island in the middle of the Indian Ocean. You've got friends you go to chow with. But Sunday afternoon, evening dinners are, that's just time for family. And I think for me, that's the best time to just put phones away, reconnect. But it's not always like that. And if you guys have a special needs child in your family, sometimes that they're not always going to sit down and eat with you. They're going to eat when they want. And that's just the way they operate. So it's not always like that. So every time I can, I do. Nap time, stay home. Let's see. Tat girl. Tattoo Girl. Oh, I love that name too. Cryptic Conversations, Nap Time. Packers and Relax. Yeah, go Packers. Stay Home. Church and Chill. I like that. I like that, Les. I have yard work, but it won't stop raining. Yeah, I hope the weather gets better for you guys back there. Church, watch football, and relax. I love it, Rebecca. Saturdays is our college ball day. We don't miss college ball. And boy, my husband was like, at 9:30, you got to find the Boise game. It was like in the second or the third inning at 9:30. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for joining the live, everyone. Tonight is going to be a touchy subject, and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I got a banner up there. This is for entertainment purposes only. We do look at a lot of facts and evidence, and this no way represents anyone in our chat. We have the freedom of speech. And I'll tell you, I saw something very interesting this weekend. It just came out yesterday, as a matter of fact. And I don't know if you've seen this, but I'm going to play a clip and then we're going to talk about it real quick. So there was a suspect in 3 other murders now linked to a teen girl's in 1988 cold case murder in Virginia. And Virginia police put out this clip.
Investigation, Chesapeake Field Office, and the Isle of Wight
Let
County
me put this clip up
Bureau
here.
of
Hold on.
Criminal Investigation, Chesapeake Field Office, and the Isle of Wight County Commonwealth's Attorney. We are here to announce that a suspect has been identified in the 1988 cold case of Gloucester County teen Lori Ann Powell. Through advanced forensic evidence analyzed and certified by DNA Labs International, located in Deerfield, Florida, Alan Wade Wilmer, Sr., has been declared the person responsible for Powell's homicide. As a result of the forensic findings, the Isle of Wight Commonwealth's attorney confirms that if Alan Wilmer Sr. was alive today, he would be charged for Powell's homicide. To the victim's family, Mr. and Mrs. Compton, and the Kirchner family, we express our sincere condolences for your loss and the pain you have experienced these past 37 years. Thank you for your cooperation and understanding as our agencies worked towards solving this case. Wilmer Sr. died in December 2017 at the age of 63 at his residence in Lancaster County, Virginia. Powell was last seen alive on March 8, 1988, walking along Route 614 towards Route 17 in Gloucester County, Virginia. Tragically, her body was discovered on April 2, 1988, in the Elizabeth River near Craney Island. Powell had been stabbed multiple times. She was just 18 years old.
So that is the actual case of Lori Ann Powell. And yes, she was 18. Almost a month later, they found her. They did incarcerate a man for 37 years. 37 years that he actually did not commit this crime. Now, I don't know the whole background. I just started looking into this yesterday. But the one thing that linked him, the guy who actually did it, who died at 63, Alan Wilmer Sr., was DNA. If he was alive today, he would have been charged for her murder because the DNA linked him to this horrible death of this beautiful 18-year-old girl. She had been stabbed multiple times. So last year, investigators determined that Wilmer, 63, was the suspect in addition to 3 other murders. David Knobling, Robin Edwards in 1987, and Teresa Lynn Spa Howell in 1989. So this guy looked like he was on a killing spree. And if the records hold true, then she was actually his 3rd victim, and he went on to have another victim after. And the murders were a series of double murders, collectively known as the Colonial Parkway murders. Now, investigation, obviously today now is very different with DNA, but they obviously are still looking to see if they could connect this guy to other crimes. So they are looking for the public's tips, because obviously there is other cold cases they are trying to solve. Pal's sister did speak with the news at a news conference. She said she didn't wait for life to happen. She made it happen. And she said she was brave, bold, spontaneous, full of life, witty, smart, and beautiful. She was a true firecracker. She spoke her mind, followed her heart, and never apologized for being herself. 18 years old and 37 years of heartbreak, unanswered questions. They finally received long awaited news that the murder of their daughter had been solved. 37 years, folks. It is sad. And the reason I lead in with this story is I sure hope that it does not take 37 years for those families in the Idaho 4 to learn the real story. Like I've said before, if Brian Kohberger is guilty and he took a plea deal to save his life and he's factually guilty, we need to see the hardcore evidence. Look at all the mistakes that have been made over 37 years. There were other people they were investigating that they just stopped investigating, just like the Delphi. I don't know if you've seen the current filings in that case, but now they're saying that there were other people being investigated, other people that had more potential than the individuals that they convicted. Yes. Lori Ann's family said, while nothing erases the pain of losing Lori Ann, we find comfort knowing the truth has come to light. Come to light. Finally. So let's talk about this. I've never heard anybody talk about this before. In our nest, we have some amazing minds. And I agree that story was tragic. Extremely tragic. Tunnel vision, and that's usually what happens when investigators are pressured to find a killer and they get tunnel vision on one person and that's it. Or they start leading an investigation and it leads them totally off track. But 37 years is a long time to find the real killer. Other people did confess. Yes, Les, free Richard Allen. West Memphis 3, Delphi. I mean, I could go on and on. There are people who actually confess due to tough interrogations, just finding tunnel vision, finding a fall guy. And what leads me to talk about the evidence today is because in MPD, let's just talk about this because there are not many people talking about it. And I'm not afraid to talk about it. The evidence in the Idaho 4, not only was the crime scene, in my humble opinion, contaminated with everybody and anybody who walked through there, including Hunter Johnson, but when you start looking at the unknown DNA profiles, that is the biggest overlooked category. Biggest. There were multiple known males and females. They were detected per the forensics. And not just one unknown male, like they want you to believe. These appear across door handles, kitchen items, bathroom surfaces, dumpster items. Remember those 3 dumpsters full of evidence? Now, that wasn't one lone wolf that had time to dump evidence in 3 dumpsters. Come on. Stop fooling us. We're not that dumb of a public, in my humble opinion. Bedding. They collected bedding, stairwell area DNA, victims' clothing DNA, swabs from the sliding door, gum from the backpack I showed you, latent prints with potential DNA, the glove outside with blood, medical masks that were worn? Were they worn to mask the smell while potentially cleaning up? I mean, come on. Come on, guys. How many unique individuals were confirmed? Probably tons. Tons. And why were some ruled out as background versus potentially relevant? Why? There were unknown profiles, evidence that was gathered that we've never seen the forensic details for. And I'm telling you, in this interview and this investigation right now, there are thousands of documents, folks, that they did not release to the public. I can tell you, there are gaps in these documents. There is no conclusion for a lot of testing. They gave us some meat and potatoes, but they didn't give us all they gave us all the sides, but not the meat and potatoes, folks. And we know that. We absolutely know that. Welcome in, everyone. If you've not hit that thumbs up button, please do. Please do. I'm bringing you facts and evidence. So let's take a look at this MPD evidence. What was the main reason that Ann Taylor wanted to get these documents, these evidence, these items? What was the main reason? Why do you think Ann wanted these documents? I mean, in this document written by Blaker, again, sequence 140, photos of items requested to be held by the defense team. So basically, earlier on in this investigation, Ann Taylor went to the storage unit and they took pictures. And then Ann Taylor got back and they wanted these items from the security storage area at the city shop to take photos of property belonging to DM, Dylan, Bethany, Xana, Ethan, Maddie, and Kaylee. And because they have previously removed these items from the house. And items were removed from the spare bedroom on the first floor. Thanks for hitting it, Brian. I left my DNA on the like already. I love it. South Africa's in the house, by the way. So Ann Taylor, defense counsel, was granted permission to go through those items, and then she had to obviously get a warrant to be able to get a third-party testing for these items. And some of them got messed up during this, and we don't ever know what happened to the rest of the items. But one thing that caught my eye this weekend, there were some new pictures released on social media of the Idaho for their last days, and absolutely the picture they took before the football game. And something caught my eye because they wanted, Ann Taylor specifically requested to get Dylan's belongings. Now, why would Ann only request Dylan's belongings? Let's get some good ideas. Why would Ann want Dylan's belongings? There had to have been some reason, because if you look at the document, this was written in February 2nd, 2023. That's when she wanted some of these items. And when you start looking at some of the reasons why, yeah, I've never seen police move victims, ever. First case I've ever seen it. Because Dylan was lying from the jump. She kept changing her story. Yeah, this is in February of 2023. Remember, they just arrested Kohberger 2 months before it, so it was about 6 to 7 weeks out. And then they come back and say, we want a couple of these items. We are interested and we want to third-party DNA test these items. So there was a handwritten note that they saw. I believe that was on the second. It was in the second bedroom. It was Dylan's bedroom. On the top shelf, allegedly, it's in another report. I just wrote down little notes. The pink and white blanket they did get. That's the one where they found her blood on it. Pink and white cloth, possible used as a shower or as a curtain or decoration. I have scoured everywhere and I have not seen that anywhere. Black and white Van shoes. Never seen those either. Red and white unknown brand shoes, black and white Converse shoes. So I started scouring everywhere looking for the black and white Converse shoes, red and white unknown brand shoes, black and white Van shoes, and the pink and white cloth possible used as a curtain or decoration. And then items for the spare bedroom were Adidas black and white short sleeve shirt and a green and pink coat. Now, we don't know if they got the black and white shirt. We don't know if any of these other items were found, but they did have 2 items. That was the green and pink coat. We know what happened with Blue Star, Mr. Captain Detective Blue Star over there. And then we know what happened with the blanket. It was allegedly hers. So Anne wanted these. Yeah, we need some attorney to step up. I assumed or suspected, or I can make a speculation here, that Anne wanted specific items that someone had either taken pictures of or someone remembered what someone was wearing. Okay. And I scoured social media, and the only shoes that I found was on Josie L. They were the black and white Converse shoes. I think those are black and white Converse shoes. I hope so. Did those look like them? Let me get a yes or a no or maybe. Are those black and white Converse shoes? Chuck Taylor's? Black and white Converse shoes. I thought so. In my humble opinion. I mean, I'm kind of a shoe snob, not in a bad way. I don't wear high heels. Well, I used to when I was younger, but I like some nice comfortable shoes like Brooks or just something now that I'm in my 50s era. I like comfortable shoes. So I thought, you know what? Is there any other pictures out there floating around on the internet that could possibly be in this friend group, Vans, right? And I thought to myself, well, I mean, do these kind of look like Vans? Do those kind of look like Vans? These pictures just surfaced on social media in the last few days in the memorial pictures floating around. So what kind of shoes are these? Does anyone know what kind of shoes those are? Dylan had Vans shoes, remembering Chief Fry carrying a full bag of shoes out of the house. Those are Nikes. Those are Nikes? Nike. Dylan wore Vans. I thought she wore old school skate shoes. Those are Nikes? But look at the back of these shoes. What are they? I thought it was a skater shoe. Those are Nikes? A pile of stuff. Dylan is wearing Nike shoes. Black and white, black swoosh. So those are Nike shoes? See, I'm so glad we can come together and discuss this. So gray Nike. Let's see what I can find real quick. I thought they were Vans. I could be wrong. I mean, I even asked ChatGPT with your detective amazing eye, it is an odd shape on the heel. You can see the check mark. So I asked it, and it basically said the closest common match online is a Vans classic slip-on, skate style slip-on. Low flat skate sole, slip on upper, no laces, low collar with the Vans silhouette. I thought maybe they were old school Vans. Vans off the wall patch. Same placement. So let me look up Nike. Off the wall patch. That's what I thought it was. I thought it was an old school skater shoe. I don't know. And sometimes people will buy guys' shoes, right? LS is for the bed. They are not Nikes. That's not a swoosh. Jordan Low? Never heard of those. Nike Dunks. All right, let me look. Nike's Dunks shoe. So the search is on. Let's see if we can find, I don't know, they don't look like Dunks. From the back? Dunk Low Retro. Dunks. Okay, let me look. Dunk Low Retro. Let me look. Let me just see here. Could be. Look at all you shoe connoisseurs. I love it. Oh, this is amazing. I got the same ones right in front of me, Big Red says. They look like Air Force One lookalikes, Air Jordans. Can you send a picture to my daughter? Has them in low tops. Hey, chat, YouTube is literally opening this video. Ad for Vans. Are you kidding me? Because I showed them? Holy moly, that is freaking AI for you. Yeah, so it says most likely some type of slip-ons. So I don't know. Maybe somebody can find the right ones. They don't look like the back because of this logo back here. It looks like, it doesn't look like the back of a Nike shoe. And maybe, I don't even see them in low dunks that look like that. The back of this shoe has been boggling my mind for days. So somebody put like, let me see, a retro. Let me look. Gosh, they don't even look like retro. The logo on the back says Air Jordan. It has wings on the back. Okay, well, let me try Air Jordans. You might be right. Back of heel. Let me see. Gosh, that logo. They kind of look more like a skater shoe to me. Nope. Yeah, ChatGPT, I went in there and this is what it told me. It says Vans classic slip-on, skate style slip-on. It's low, flat skate sole with a thin foxing strip, same structure as Vans. Maybe it's a no-name skater shoe. And I was thinking even it could possibly be, what did they call them back in the day? Air something. I can't even remember what the Airwalk or something like that in the 80s. Basketball speakers. I found them 1,000 men's Air Jordan or Air Jordan. I can't even say it. Men's Air Jordan. One low SE. Let's see. Low designs. Low one. Oh my God. Somebody got it right. You are so right. They do look like that. They freaking look like that. Holy moly. You freaking win the internet today, girl, guy, whoever you are. Look at this. Is that close? Close on the back? Probably. Maybe. They come in several. The back looks like a skater shoe. Yeah, it does look like a skater shoe. They are Nike. Sending you a picture. Okay, let me look out. I think they're Pumas. That logo just stumped me for a while. Now that we have 600 eyes looking on this almost. 100%. That's it. I promise you. Wouldn't lead you astray. Well, I mean, Chat GPT, those are Nikes. They kind of look like Air Jordan 1 Low SE. Why are they in men's? Are men's shoes more comfortable? I mean, I could walk into like let me see. I've done it before. I could walk into like Claire's or Justice, and I can barely fit into a size 4 kid shoe. And I mean, I found a really cute pair of boots for like $6 that I wore. They were size 4 kids, but I mean, they were cute, they were comfortable. Nike Air Jordan. ChatGPT is wrong. Yeah, I know it's wrong. Yeah, they're not Asics. I looked everywhere. Welcome in, everyone. If you just joined the stream, we're talking about evidence. So when I go back to look at the evidence factor in this, why did they not request those shoes that she was wearing? I mean, obviously the white pants were in the bathroom. Okay, they took those as evidence. But where were these shoes? And if I could ever find exactly what type of shoe this was, I thought they were DC's too. I thought they were. They kind of look like a little bit of cross between DC tennies and the other Toms. Kind of look like Toms too, but even Skechers, they have some slip-on skate models. Nope, Nike. Everyone's saying Nike, Nike, Nike. Who knows? Maybe she'll watch us and tell us what it actually is. Yeah, that doesn't look like the back of Nike's, does it? Let me large it. Does that look like the back of Nike's? Not even the side swoosh. Yeah, I don't know. That's a hard one. Oh, you know what, Amanda? I can see the side swoosh, but that white part on the top, now everybody's going to be searching for Vans or as they're low dunks. As soon as we can figure out, they look like skater shoes to me. Buster Browns. You guys are just throwing out those. We're going old school. Yeah, DC's Vans, yeah, they come in wide. Those are a little bit wider. See, but even Tom's have a patch on the side tag, and then it's more almond and skate flat. Those are absolutely the back of Nikes. I've looked everywhere. Remember, this picture just came out a couple of days ago, and I've been searching. You can see the back part of the swoosh. That's the only clear picture that I was able to grab. This one is in the back, but I can't see the full. And if you notice in the Idaho 4 picture that they share, the last picture, they don't show Dylan's feet. So we've never seen this picture before. Just a couple of those are skinny. She just has huge feet. I don't know. What size do you think those are, guys? Those are definitely Vans. They have the Vans on back. But keep in mind, old school Vans do have the little tag. They used to have the skateboard on the back. Now the new ones all have the little tags on the back on the sole, but not on the heel. The heel right back here. They must be old. I thought they were old school. A 10, a 10, a 10. Dylan wears 13? No way. A 10 or a 12? The body cam where Bethany answers the door, she's got Vans on too. Yeah. Yeah, she's got them on. Vans are always going to be trendy. You're always going to have skaters wearing them. I mean, I was in the 80s, Vans was hot. Everyone wore them. Everyone. So let me throw this up on the stage. I'm going to show you this document. Let me see if it'll let me take this one down. Oh, that's the actual document. Here's the one I highlighted. Okay, so where was this other, and even in the affidavit, this is what really throws me off, is that, they've got the arrest affidavit. This is the original arrest that I've highlighted so you can see it. It says, during the process of the crime scene, during the processing of the crime scene, investigators found a latent shoe print. This was located during the second processing of the crime scene by the ISP forensic team by using presumptive blood test, then aminoblack, a protein stain that detects the presence of cellular material. They detected shoe print showed a diamond-shaped pattern similar to the pattern of a Vans type shoe sole just outside the door of DM room located on the second floor. So if they found the latent shoe print, mind you, okay, then who cleaned up that shoe print? Who cleaned up that shoe print in order for them to put the chemical on it and then find out it had been wiped up? So, I mean, that's one of the things that always was suspicious, is who owned the Vans, right? Who owned a shoe with a waffle print? I mean, we went over that it might have been a wrestler, it might have been, but when these pictures were just released this weekend, and I saw that Ann Taylor specifically asked for the black and white Converse shoes, why do we not see Dylan's shoes on this list? Because there were other shoes they asked for. 2 other sets of shoes. Right there in black and white. They asked for. They asked for red and black Nikes. Green, the green jacket, obviously, the blanket. But they asked for black and white Van shoes. Red and white unknown brand shoes. So there were three sets of shoes they asked for. Why did they not ask for these shoes? If that was the last picture of all of them together wearing those shoes. Why weren't those shoes asked for, but they asked for the black and the white shoes? Because Fry took the black and white Vans out of the U-Haul. I'm going to have to go through that. I'm going to comb through those videos again. Google Puma skater shoe. Okay, hold on. Look at you detectives go. Puma skater shoe. Oh, that's close. Let me look at the heel. It is close, but the heel's a little different. That's a lifestyle, Park Lifestyle SK8. That's close. Except for that little thing on the back. This little logo on the back. I don't know. Maybe she'll see it and she'll tell us. Maybe Emily's mom is here and she'll tell us. Like she told us about the girl in the braids, which I think probably could have been Josie in my humble opinion. You know, the girl with the police, that the police were walking her around and they were walking who knows where. The girl with the braids, do you guys remember that? I think it might have been Josie, in my humble opinion. I mean, we may never know the answer to that one. We may never know the answer to this one because there's so much sketchy stuff that happened in this case. So much evidence that we will never have a full conclusion to. I guarantee you there are tons of documents. These are all out of sequence. Some are missing. Pieces to this puzzle are missing big time. I wonder if we're ever going to find out what happened. And, somebody told me, I just have to throw this in there. Someone told me, remember how we went over um, the blood found in Brian Kohberger's car on the seat? It happened to be his own. Someone said maybe he had a hemorrhoid and it bled through. I'm thinking to myself, maybe he cut his finger on something, or who knows? I mean, how could you get a speck of blood, your own blood, on a car seat right in that area? I mean, think about it. I mean, if I had to think of ways how I would get my own blood on the back of a car seat like that, um, cutting a finger, um, maybe a pimple on the back of my leg. I don't know. I mean, if you think about it, how did he get blood, his own blood, on his car seat? Maybe a pin, a prick, something. I don't know. And I'm reading comments and oh my God, Emily's mom, one of us, they follow me everywhere, y'all. It's scary. It is so scary. Like, why would they do that? They follow me on TikTok. They've commented before, Emily and her mom. And who knows? Maybe they're in here. I don't know. I just was goofing around, but they do follow me on social media. Maybe they're afraid we're going to find the truth one day. Who knows? I don't know. You just never know. People are worried that their skeletons are going to come out of the closet or something. And does all the evidence come back to Dylan? I mean, she's the only one that saw that. Now she saw a black truck. I haven't seen a paper cut. Yeah, he could have got it. Oh, there you go. See, there's a reason, a nosebleed. I mean, if he's got sinus issues or something like that, possible. Josie has the voice that has a little bit of a different accent or maybe a lisp. Yeah, I think she's, dealing with some stuff. In my humble opinion, does Josie fit several of the King Road? Well, here's the deal. I'm going to show you a picture. That's a great question. Now, this is a picture of the girls. Let me find it real quick. If I brought it. Hold on. This is the girls. This is where they lived at 1118. That's all public knowledge. They lived right here in this little house on the side, and the 1122 is right here. So this isn't the greatest angle, but that is indeed one of the pictures that was in the body cam. Now there is another picture that this is the actual house at 1118. And it is public knowledge. If you go on whitepages.com, it is up there. Let me remove this one. Hold on a minute. Let's see. That is the 1118. So there's 1112 that had the security cam in the light bulb. This is the little house in the middle. And then there's a little steep driveway. They park on the backside on here. There's a steep driveway into that other blue house over back there, but this is 1118. So Josie and Emily, I don't know who said they lived at the Whites, but they lived right here, according to public record. Yeah, public record. Which I thought was really interesting that not a lot of people knew that was where they factually lived on file. Here's the picture that I was talking about a little bit earlier. I was wondering if perhaps this individual could be Josie, because everybody was saying, oh, it was Dylan. No, that person's too short. It was definitely not Emily Allant. Josie is the only one that I had found with darker hair than the other girls. But that is probably, I would say, in my humble opinion, probably Josie. And this is the picture that Emily Allant's mom commented on, that was Emily's blanket that they gave to Dylan. But I don't think this was Dylan, in my humble opinion. And I didn't even say that, Emily's Allant, her mom, wasn't even there or present. So how would she even know if that was who that was, So that's another one for you. But I think the evidence is pretty clear. Not all of the evidence was collected, right? And if you go back to the shoe pattern, this is what the shoe pattern looked like. It was located on the second floor. I mean, we don't have a picture. They didn't put it in evidence. They didn't put it. This is the shoe pattern. And I started looking at all these shoes. I think they were looking for the shoes that had this pattern. 3 sets of shoes from Dylan. So it was found just outside DM's bedroom door, facing toward the direction of the hallway, not towards her door. Okay? It was facing toward the direction of the hallway. Inside. Which is odd. And it wasn't a full shoe print. It was a partial latent shoe print. And they found it using the O tall. And obviously that reacts with blood or blood residue. So somebody had to have wiped that up. At least cleaned it up. It's not visible to the naked eye, folks. It's only visible after chemical enhancement. After. And the pattern description from the affidavit said a latent shoe print with a diamond pattern similar to Van type sole. Not Vans themselves, but similar. Similar. So visually it would look like repeated diamond shapes, open diagram pattern, familiar with the waffle. Vans has a waffle sole. It's very popular. And the only portion of the pattern visible, it was only a portion. It wasn't like a full head to toe, heel to toe. So if you think about it, a patch of repeating tiled square diamond shapes, edges possibly smeared or incomplete, not enough imprint to measure a full size, and possibly just the toe or the midsole area only. Because if you do look at a Van shoe, the waffle print is only in the toe and the heel, not in between. So that was what I was wondering, what type of shoe. So a tiny cluster of diamonds, about 4 to 6 inches. I think it's 0.4 to 6 wide, slightly angled, arranged in rows, maybe 6 to 12 diamonds visible. No full outline of the shoe, no heel, no edge, no toe. Just that partial kind of makes it difficult to find what type of shoe. And if someone is saying that Chief Fry moving, let me see, out of 1122, let me see if I can see a video. Let me see. Moving, Chief Fry explains his renting the truck and removing items. Let's see. That was in a document. I'm wondering if anybody has the actual video footage. Moscow Moving Company here. Who knows? Maybe stuff scrubbed. Let's see what we can find. Bag of shoes. Bag of shoes. Did he really? Now I'm curious. I'm going to go deep dive for this one. Moscow Police Department moved. That was on December 7th, I think, on my notes that they moved it. Oh, I found one. Let's see. Here we go. Let me show you this video I just found. Let's see if this shows anything. Alrighty. Let's see if this gives us anything.
Police began removing some of the victims' personal belongings from that crime scene in Moscow. Police said the families have been
See if I can make it larger. There we go.
asking for some of those items back. Investigators say those things are no longer needed for their investigation. KREM 2's Amanda Rowley was at the house today and spoke to law enforcement about the next steps in this investigation.
At the request of the students' families, Moscow police packed up personal belongings at the home. In fact, Chief James Fry said it was important for him to personally be here with the officers, boxing up those items so they could, in a sense, be there for the family and give back those items that might help the family heal. The chief himself drove the U-Haul into the driveway. Police officers arrived early this morning to pack up the students' things, and by noon today, they finished loading the boxes onto the truck. This is not something police typically do, but Idaho State Police spokesperson Aaron Snell says in this case, it was appropriate.
We've had the crime scene for quite some time, and the family would like back some of those belongings. There's undoubtedly some sentimental issues, and I think it will help with a little bit of the healing, and we want to be part of that process. We want to help them. We don't want to keep holding onto items that really aren't needed for the investigation.
There was no sign of the students' immediate family members here today, but we do know the U-Haul has been taken to a secure location where Moscow police will communicate with the family to coordinate returning those items to them. Reporting in Moscow, Amanda Rowley.
Okay, I will continue to look for that video. I want to see if I can find where they were moving them out. I know that there's a lot of pictures out there. A lot of pictures. Maybe we'll be able to catch them in the act. Let me see if this one's one of them. This looks like, let me share this one instead. Alrighty, here we go. Police items removed from the gathering at home. Let's see. I hate that when these ads come on. The heck? I don't want a TV. How the heck did that happen? Okay, here's a picture. Let me show you this one. Here's a picture of items in there. I don't see anything in there. Coffee maker. That looks like a Maddie Mogan. There's a picture. Here we go. Let's see what I can grab. Let's see. Let me see if I can blow this one up. Very interesting. That is the new chief. Let's see. Oh, I don't see. Let me see if I can blow this up in a different way. I'm sure if we start digging, we'll find it. I just thought it was interesting that, again, those specific shoes were not on anywhere that she had on that night, that day. I do see some black and white Vans in this. Let me see if I can take a better picture. There's all kinds of shoes in this. That's interesting. I mean, what if there was more evidence that could prove something else, right? I mean, think about it. If there's overlooked evidence that nobody thought to gather the shoes that maybe Dylan had on that night, why would they not go back? I mean, they had their phones, right? I mean, I can barely see the top of these shoes in this picture. I'm going to zoom in. And this was the first time that I've ever seen these shoes. They didn't show a lot of their feet in the Idaho 4 picture, you know, the famous one. But I'm going to put this other picture up on the screen. See the top of those? She threw them away. She could have. Possibly could have. There's the bag of shoes. Who knows who that was? There was no marking on it saying who it belonged to. One on each side of the bag. Yeah, I see those. Yep. Hit the thumbs up for me real quick. Everyone, every single one of you here. Hit that thumbs up for me. I greatly appreciate it. You know, all we're doing is bringing you facts. We're bringing you documents. If you have not seen our Justice for All page, again, if you're just joining us, we are talking about facts, evidence in the Idaho 4. And we are definitely just wondering why some of the evidence was not collected. That's what I think. I think that for some reason, someone did not want evidence to be shared, in my humble opinion. So if you've not seen our Justice for All, you can access all these documents, every single picture that I sent to you. It's all in one location, and you can go and you can scroll under Brian Kohberger, and there are the state's exhibit list, videos, SBS, where to write him a postcard, all the court documents, ISP pictures, Pullman videos, and basically Pullman saying that Kohberger was not there in the month of October the prior year, and much more, so much more. So in my humble opinion, let me ask you guys this question. You know, when we look at the shoe possibly being, and I'm just saying possibly being, a shoe similar to a Vans style shoe, because they didn't say it was specifically a Vans. They said a Vans style. Okay. So what other shoe could be like a Vans style? Because remember, there was not a full shoe outline, no visible blood to the naked eye, not enough clarity to compare a size. It did not match to Kohberger's shoes. None of his shoes matched. And it didn't match to victims' shoes. And they're saying that it wasn't matched to any of the roommates. So where are those shoes right here that are pictured? Where did those shoes go? Where did they go? Because somebody clearly stepped in blood. That person walked towards DM room, not away from it. They walked towards her room. The print doesn't match the suspect's footwear at all. And the affidavit, this is the most controversial part in the physical evidence. The affidavit tries to imply it matched Vans, but the lab report says, not Kohberger. BK never wore Vans or any type of evidence of wearing Vans, skate shoes, nothing like that. And the print's not big enough to assign ownership. So what do you think when you hear that these shoes were never logged as evidence or asked for by the defense? What are your thoughts? Do you think this might be the shoes on the latent print? Could this be possible? Maybe. How come the defense didn't ask for these specific shoes, but they asked for all the other shoes that I showed you pictures of? Except for the red. I haven't found the red and white shoes. But I did find, I believe, what's to be the black and white Converse shoe. I mean, believe me, I scoured the internet looking for these shoes. And this is the picture that someone asked me for a little while ago. Let me grab this. Y'all asked me for this picture and I didn't have it. Here it is. Just found it. This is the picture of the girls outside of 1118. Public knowledge. That's the little blue house right there. They were all hanging out, taking pictures up on the roof. That is where Josie and Emily Allant lived. 1118. Puma has specific zigzag, can make a diamond effect. Found it. Okay, Christina, what'd you find? It shows the cops taking them out in a clear plastic bag. Ooh, good. Is that the one I just showed a couple seconds ago? The screenshot that I threw up there. Let me grab it again. This one. That one. That might have been the shoes. I mean, I think they picked up the underwear, correct? I don't know. They didn't log in the underwear on the street that I see. Yeah. She found toe prints, which you can buy shoes like that. Golfers use them. What's considered the treehouse? They sit on the roof. Everyone can sit on the roof. This one? Yeah, I don't know. I thought the treehouse was another house. It could be. Yeah, I don't know why those, but that's one of the ones that I found this week on the internet. They're Nikes, red label Vans. I don't know. Will we ever know what these shoes really were? Another piece to the puzzle, missing evidence. Was Hunter at the Whites? I'm guessing Emily said that because she was staying there. Why would Emily be staying at the Whites? Was Hunter at the Whites? I'm guessing Emily just said that because she was staying there. They had friends that lived at the Whites, but I don't know why they tried to keep this so quiet. They actually lived in that little house right here, over on this side. So weird. I don't know. BF was wearing Nikes. Did you see the house with all the garbage bags on the roof from police body cam? No, that's interesting. I say those were Nikes. So I'm confusing people, I think. Where did Hunter live? That's a good question. That is a freaking great question. Hold on. Where did he live? I know he was in a master's program. He was already a graduate. So where did he live in Moscow? That is a great question. Here, let me look. He lived on here's if you guys want to see this. It's all public information. We're not trying to dox anyone. It says his past address is medical specialization in specialist technologist, focusing in athletic trainer. He's under the healthcare registered MPI number. It said 875. Well, he's got two addresses here. Location address and mailing address. Let me grab this one. Let me see where this was. So let's see where he was. Well, that's weird. It goes back to the University of Idaho. Let me see where this 804 Elm Street is, because that would be right down the road. Wouldn't it be? Elm Street. 804 Elm Street. It says it's a building. Fraternal Organization, first floor. Pi Delta Theta. So if he lived over on Elm Street, that's the address that he's given, then he's KB Dome's here. Taylor Avenue's over here, so it would be right down this road. Right down here. But why would he only give the address for the fraternity and the school? Where was he living? Nikes, Cortez, sneakers, Nightmare on Elm Street. He was an athletic trainer. Yeah, he's now at a school in Ada County, at a high school. Look up Van Upland shoes. Vans Upland shoes. Let me look at the heel. No, that doesn't look like them close. So this is, he was only right down the road from here to there. Probably about 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks away. I lived on Elm. Thank you for always amazing lives. Oh, absolutely. Thank you, Ames. I appreciate that. So appreciate that. You know, we have a FOIA fund, by the way. Definitely going to start getting some more documents. Military boots have diamond-shaped sole. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Absolutely. We appreciate you, Ames. And Marion, we appreciate you too. Love you back. You know, it's curious. I mean, it's just curious, okay? Where did he live? I mean, most of all these addresses are public information, so it's not like, you know, we're trying to dox anyone, but it says 875 perimeter. That just led us over to 875 perimeter. Maybe that was an apartment building. Does that kind of look like an apartment building? Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Hold on one second. I'm going to go and look. What year was this? What year does it say? 2025. Let me see if there's any more dates. October 2021. Okay, this was October 2021, guys. So this is 804 Elm Street. IKEA. truck. Let's see what else we can find. It's got to be a frat, maybe. Elm Street. 804 Elm Street. So the college is down this way. Phi Beta Theta. He lived with his mom. Well, this is actually the address of the frat place. These are little apartments. So he must have been living there. Apartments. The college is down this way. And that's Idaho Avenue. So that is the frat house. So October of 2021. Look, we went on a little field trip together. Yeah, that's the frat house. That was his address that he was using. So maybe he stayed there after he graduated and then was able to do his master's program. That was 2021. Which makes sense. Okay, so everyone in this case has an odd background. Yeah, believe me, it's really strange. Learned that they around as apartments as well. They specifically mentioned Snyder's body cam at JD's house. And that's the house of the Great Council. Oh, I missed it. I came across a picture of him there, and I don't even remember seeing him there. Really? Let's see. Wow. So, I mean, when you think about it, I think there was so much overlooked evidence. So much. I mean, if you start talking about the flash like we did the other day, Bethany saw this flash. Maybe it was a prank. It was a bright flash, movement, a figure. Dylan sees the guy in black clothing. The source of the flash was never identified. Never, ever have we read anywhere what the source of the flash was. Was it metal reflecting light, a phone, a weapon, an external headlight? I was thinking that it was the headlights of someone who came maybe to pick somebody up because the black truck never stopped. And we still don't see the whole footage. There's so much missing evidence. So much. So much. Yep, Josie was a criminology student. Absolutely. That's public information right on her LinkedIn. So the source was never identified of the flash. The footwear, the evidence, the diamond pattern never released. Digital evidence in the house. I mean, that's a whole stream we can definitely talk about. The condition of the kitchen. Holy moly. Yeah, somebody had to have wiped up that footprint. Who wiped the footprint? And was this the shoes that could possibly have left the footprint? We don't know. I don't think we'll ever know. Unless they just don't want us to know. So what are your thoughts about this? Latent prints don't match anyone. Well, then it was a mysterious ghost that left these prints because it left no investigative leads. Like everything else in this case, there's no conclusion. No conclusion. Nike Air Jordan. Oh, you go, Brian. I know somebody would do it by the end of this stream. Nike Air Jordan, one low, white wolf gray. You got to be kidding me. Like a lone wolf, white wolf gray. Holy moly. Look at this. You are the man. Check this out. Let me see if, well, maybe this possible. Let me throw this up on the screen. That's possible. I think you got it. We're very close to it. Let me look at this pattern on the sole too. You guys rock. Pattern on the toe. Yeah, I don't know. It could be that. Here, look at this. Could be. Let me grab the original. Interesting. You guys rock. Check that out. Let me see if I can throw the original. I have to put them side by side. Check that out. Surely wasn't the shoes that were... I don't know. That's close. That's kind of close. Well, I think maybe that's it. Except for these are slip-ons, right? I don't know. Do they look like they have... Dang, you are good. That's them. All right. Brian Todd, you are a top dog. You are the man. I posted it 4 times. Unless they release a picture of the print. Yeah, that would be nice if they ever released it. Why would they do? Good job. He even gave me the item number. That is amazing. You guys did good work. See, problem solved. Problem totally solved. Check that out. Nice job. I love it when stuff comes together. Everybody give Brian Todd, some love. Give him some love. I think we found the shoe. Now, if I could just find, let me see if I can find a picture of this. If I can just find the sole. Let me see if I can find the sole. Yeah, I don't think they'll ever give us a latent print. The goat. Let me see what I can see. Let's find this. The sole is, remember, they said it was just a partial print, a partial latent print of diamond patterns. I'm going to bring this up. Let's see if you guys can. Let's see if it shows me the sole. Now, totally not this shoe. I'm going to give you a sole picture. Hold on. A sole picture. Oh, look at the sole on this shoe. This is it. Nike Women's Air Jordan 1 Low White Wolf Gray. And this is the sole. That doesn't look like a diamond pattern. Nike has a check mark on the sole. It's got a check mark. Yeah, right in the middle of the sole. Yeah. They're so damn. Be nice. Let's be nice. But you rock. You found that like no tomorrow. No tomorrow. So I'm wondering, since Anne specifically requested the black and white Converse shoes, which I have a picture of, I'm wondering what the bottom of those soles look like. Did they compare? Did they do a third-party analysis of the black and white Converse? So let me look. Now that we figured that one out, let me look at the Converse. And these look like high tops, don't they? Maybe like a Chuck Taylor. Let's see. Golfer's shoes with toes. Yeah, Converse is different on the bottom. And this is the Chuck Taylor. So what were they trying to benchmark against these shoes? The patterns? That's embroidered floral patch. That's just black and white. Elevated platform. Converse Pro Kids. Pro Kids. Chuck Taylor Pro Kids. Let me see. I don't think Pro Kids. Do they have a high top? Oh yeah, they do. Oh, it's out of stock. Shoot, it's not going to let me look at it. Hold on. Let me go somewhere else. That's an older brand. They look like Pro Kids Classic, I guess. They look like Converse. Xana wore elevated platform shoes. Is because she was tiny and short. Okay, so then what was the red and white Nikes? See if I can find a red and white Nikes. Women's Dunk. So that one looks like a pattern. They had to have had Nike's is almost the same. It's got the swoosh. What else would be a Vans like diamond pattern? Dylan's shoe size is a woman's 13. It would have to be an 8 women's basketball. Yeah, I thought it was a wrestling shoe. But remember, we went through all the wrestling shoes, couldn't find anything close. But then Ann Taylor requested these specific shoes, black and white Vans shoes. I bet you they were the Vans. 100%. Vans is the only one that has that pattern that I have looked. I am no shoe expert. But I'm a shoe connoisseur and I could be a shoe snob. Nikes don't have that print. I mean, I'm not saying that other people didn't have these shoes. I'm just saying they specifically wanted Dylan's items that included black and white Converse shoes. But like I said, I didn't find any black and white Converse shoes pictures except for Josie's feet. And then black and white Vans shoes, never found those. So I never found the red and white unknown brand shoes. Never found those. And we're talking about evidence. Evidence overlooked, evidence missed. I mean, we can talk about the blood evidence. We can talk about the lack of scene reconstruction with the dollhouse. I mean, man, we can talk about all kinds of stuff. But today, we're talking about evidence that may have been missed because those gray shoes that Dylan was wearing never was on the evidence request list. Was this something that was overlooked in this case? Should they have collected those shoes? In my humble opinion, I agree. They should have. And yes, there was a bag, definitely was a bag of shoes being carried. But yet again, those shoes didn't even reference on Anne's list. Were there other items that were gathered? Maybe. But I do think there's a lot of things overlooked. Did Dylan have a size 13 Doc Martens? Don't know. She threw them in the wall vent with not painted screws. Holy moly. Brian Todd, that's pretty specific. That's wild. Maybe that's why we see all the pictures of the vents. I bet good money they were disposed of. DM clearly wore them, so why wouldn't they be on the evidence list? We know they were on her feet. Absolutely. Is that enough to change this case? What if real evidence was overlooked? Real, factual evidence overlooked in this case. Because we know for a fact by this picture, and I'm going to talk about it, Doc Martens that Maddie were wearing right there, she made it home to take them off right in the living room. What are your thoughts about that? Because her feet are right here in the last picture she ever took. Think about that. Y'all be well, be nice, and be kind on these streets. They can be very messy. Give a lot of love and a lot of likes. And if you've not hit that thumb button on the way out, thumbs up, we would appreciate it if you did. A lot of great questions coming up. I'm going to throw the comments on the screen. Y'all have at it. I'll give you 5 minutes for questions. Let's go. Well, Anne might have believed those were Converse based on the pictures, but she's wrong. She also allowed an innocent man to plead guilty. I think she did it to save his life. She wasn't going to risk putting him on the stand. She wasn't going to risk what they had. And we can definitely talk about that. The prosecution should have been scared. Big black boots. Those are Maddie's Doc Martens on her feet. Those shoes right there are red and white. Anna, size 13. That's huge for a woman. Dylan wore the shoes during the murders and thrown them away. I'm sure she had other shoes, right? Question in the crime scene, the house, isn't everything considered evidence? Absolutely. Did they find any hair at the scene? Yeah, they logged some of it. This evidence should have been a lot longer. Ms. Ann Taylor answered yes when Judge Hippler asked her and the defense team, did the defense receive all discovery for the state? Yep, that's true. That is true. You have to get the judge off. He's already out of grounds with the plea deal. Yep. Yeah, real evidence. I think they cleaned the whole house out before they buried it. Evidence was gone when the house went down. Doc Marten has a pattern, and my research, it shows that the front or the pattern is heavier. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't give. I mean, Doc Marten's soles are a little bit different. It could leave a diamond print, couldn't it? Let's see. No, they're a little bit different. I think each shoe is individually, so unique to the sole of the shoe. Even though Doc Martens are comfortable, I don't see a diamond pattern. Yeah, I don't see a diamond pattern on these shoes. I mean, it depends on the actual shoe. I don't think it was a Doc Marten. And they were asking for specific shoes. You are so welcome. Everyone is so welcome. I have up here. Why didn't they cut the floors and the walls out to test? That's a great question. That is a great question. They did cut Maddie's bedroom wall out. They did. They did for sure. We know that. Waffle pattern. I think the parents are CIs. Yeah, stepmom and mom. Caleb, she had to pretend she was sleeping. Why didn't she put shoes on? I know everybody else had shoes, right? Why would Ann Taylor stop Kara's case? Well, now Ann Taylor didn't stop Kara's case. If you look at the case in the summary of the repository and how they assign cases, everyone gets assigned the district attorney, and the main district attorney for the defense was Ann Taylor. And she never met with Kara. Somebody did an interview and asked her, is that the woman? And she said, no, that was not my attorney. So why was Dylan barefoot? I don't know. Don't know. Remember what I told you about that blood pattern on the metal table? Dylan was barefoot. She's trying to appear. That don't make sense for Ann Taylor to allow him to take the plea deal when it's his decision to take the plea deal. Hippler did not help make the decision. No, I agree. Maybe he decided to take the plea deal because it would just be, if anybody's ever gone to trial, it is a freaking dog and pony show. It takes forever. You can't put all the evidence on you want. And they were leading with nothing. Nothing, absolutely nothing. Just an op. I was so scared I didn't ever put shoes on. She was barefooted. I have no idea. Bethany was just arriving. Maybe they cut her wall out to get hidden in the walls. I don't know. Not too many ID attorneys had DP experience. Yeah, none. I think she's the only one certified in that area. That would take 8 hours to get the money, clean up, and get out. Shh. It was her letterhead that had her name on it. Great points. The problem is either D or B. Well, here's my, I'll leave you with this. Again, we're open-minded thinkers here. If it would be you or me, if it was you or me, and we just know this right now, and we waited 8 hours to call to help someone that had been murdered or injured, she heard someone crying. She admits that. 8 hours to make the phone call to 911, folks, tells me negligence, in my humble opinion. If it was you or me, we would have been charged, interrogated, sent up the river with no paddle, and you're never coming back. In my humble opinion. If it was the average Joe, jail. They wouldn't care. Now let it be some college student where her mother is an ex-district attorney in Ada County, and her dad is, who knows? I'm just saying. If it was me or you, we would be on death row. Booked, interrogated, burned at the stake, yada, yada, yada. Negligence, we would have been charged. And yes, it is a felony in Idaho not to render aid. A felony. In my humble opinion, they both should have been charged with not giving assistance. So why did the district attorney let them off the hook? They could have been saved. She heard something going on. And in my humble opinion, those two girls are very selfish individuals. Freaking selfish, in my humble opinion. I hope that $128,000 was worth it. I hope so. Now remember, we're not here to disparage, hinder, harm anyone. It's our opinion. You have the freedom of speech. If they would have been given assistance, we don't know if. It should have been sooner, in my humble opinion. Immature of someone, in my humble opinion, studying health sciences to not call 911. Guilty, selfish of not rendering aid, in my humble opinion. Make sure you guys drop some love, hit that thumbs up on the way out if you haven't yet, and we will see you back here tomorrow at 3:45 Mountain Standard Time with some more facts and evidence, and hopefully some new records will drop in this case to discuss, as well as as everyone leaves, as I always say, be well.
Listen close, we rise up from the ashes, digging for the truth, breaking old habits. We marching with the nesters, they laid the foundation, passed down revelation, sparked our motivation in a world of facades. We peeling back the layers. Truth is the weapon that cuts through all the fakers. Phonets in our chest, reborn from deception. Eyes wide open, no room for misdirection. Every step we take, we honor the connection between past and present, forging our resurrection. Phoenix rises in truth, setting us free from the lies that they feed. We reclaim our beliefs, thinking differently, we'll break every chain. We dance for freedom, case by case, again. We cultivate vision, planting seeds of awareness, challenge the narrative, break out of the harness, digging deep for knowledge, unearthing the hidden. Our minds are the soil where the future is written, no longer confined by the scripts they prescribe. We write our own story, let the real one subscribe. One voice becomes many, together we rally. Freedom's not a concept, it's a move and a tally. Case, we break the cage. Dark by dark, we shift the stage. Phoenix rises in truth, setting us free from the lies that they feed. We reclaim our beliefs, thinking differently, we'll break every chain. We dance for freedom, case by case, again. Rise up, speak out, watch the new world breathe.